Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's February 29th. Did you know it's leap year this year? I didn't until my wife told me this morning. So, I didn't get a video out yesterday afternoon on the repair side. And I'm right in the midst. I finally have buffaloed my way through it. Taxes are done. Got them submitted to my corporate CPA, certified public accountant. They should have them wrapped up here pretty quick and submitted to the state and federal government, so we're good there. And inventory. In the process of cleaning the shop. Well, hold tight. Alright, so welcome back to the channel. If you don't already know it, my name is Eric, and this is the weekday. So as I was saying, I got my taxes done and submitted to my CPA. I've got my sales tax ready to go for tomorrow. The thing is like with my CPA for the corporate side, see, I have two of them. I have one that does payroll that's local to me within 8 miles, and then the closest corporate one is about 45 miles south of me. And it's always kind of bug clawed because during this time I get a little, tinsy because I'm trying to run numbers and work numbers and input numbers. And I have this great big Excel file that I have. And I start, with just your basic on one sheet of your income, expense, blah, blah, blah. And then we have multiple sources of income, eBay 1, eBay 2, Amazon, the list goes on. And I subdivide each one of those, input all the numbers. So it takes me a good week or two of just, this is all I got to do. I got to get it done so that when I give it to my CPA, all they have to do is just take my end numbers, plug them in, and hit submit, and have me electronically sign to approve it. And $900 later, it's done. He's always like, well, why do you pay him $900 if you're doing all the work and all he has to do is just submit it for you? That's his job. See, what most people don't know, you have certain types of accountants, all right? You have the accountants that, see, now my local that does payroll, if I was like a partnership, LLC, sole proprietor, she'd be happy to help me with them. But when it comes to corporate, we're on a different level, okay? And the laws are ever changing and evolving. And she feels there's enough on her plate just by dealing with this segment, let alone the corporate side. But you have two types of business owners. The business owner that takes a shoebox or a box full of stuff and drops it on their CPA's desk and says, here, have at it. Or a bunch of folders that have all the information, but they're not plugged in yet. And I've never done that because I know that my CPA that does my taxes has a full crew. It's a big outfit. And the more time they have to spend coming up with the correct numbers, the more hourly rate you're going to pay. So it's, instead of it being $900, it'd be $900 times how many hours their employees had to spend going through all, trying to get everything all organized in order and then make sense of it. That's why I do it myself. I already know what I see. I know how to make sense of it. I know what is what. And I keep pretty good records throughout the month. So at the end of the month, it's all file foldered, Excel file, and sits there, just waits for me to do the next month. And the same goes for sales tax. That goes from February 29th, the end of February to the, beginning of February. It goes on that. It doesn't start in December. So while I was doing the cleaning, as I was saying, in the shop, one of the things that I have kind of shucked my responsibilities of is doing a good inventory on what we have in stock. All right. And why is it crucial to have a good inventory? Well, it's crucial to have a good inventory in my case because I sell online. And if I have 3 listed and there's only 1 and I oversell, I can get myself into trouble on the venues because I have, top rated status, fast shipping, blah, 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 And it's because I know what I got in stock, right? But I started finding these kind of boxes that we just kind of forgot about, the forgotten inventory. So yesterday I spent going through a few of the boxes, doing inventory sheets, and then, putting them, basically the ones that would hang on a wall, I hung on a wall, and then the others I used shelving versus the blue box pull draws, so I got them in order. But one of the first things that I pulled out was, it's a valve guide, valve check, what they call it, and it holds the valve open while you're cleaning it and working on it. And they're selling for $34 a piece on eBay, is that with free shipping as the average. $34.95. Guess how many I had? 29. Why in the world I would have 29 of those? But I do. So there's almost $1,000 that just been sitting back there that could have been sold by now. And that's just one of close to 200 boxes that I went through yesterday. And I'm taking one by one by one. I got them on a notepad. I start off with the part number, what it is, the quantity. And then I take, when I got the one full page done on my notepad, I go over to my computer and I start looking up part numbers, seeing what they're going for, and if we have them listed or not listed, and if not listed, get them listed. And I went through one full sheet yesterday, and not one part on that sheet of that back room of Claude's office was even listed. And there were a lot of expensive parts back there. So that'll bring us some extra money for the shop. Gives me something to do, but things have just started picking up for us. We went and fixed a tire on a tractor yesterday, and we're supposed to go either today or tomorrow to go look at a 4-wheeler and side-by-side for a customer, for his wife. He had bought her a beautiful Polaris 2002, and there wasn't a lot wrong with it. The guy had bought it, never registered it and stuff, but he wanted to make sure it was 100% safe, so he sent it over to us. He said, I want new brakes on it, new CV joints, and we had to buy brake parts for it, and the thing is immaculate, and had us put on extra lighting for him so that she could see better with it. And I think our bill was like $870 by the time we got done in parts and labor. So he was telling me the other day that she has problems because she hasn't got the upper body strength to turn the wheel on the four-wheeler. It's a Polaris 700 twin. I said, okay. I said, they do make four-wheelers with is it EPS, something like that, power assist. Because my Honda Foreman, he's got the power steering, power assist. My Polaris Ranger that I had, because I had 3 of them, I got rid of 2. My crew cab that had the full hard cab with the tracks and all that had power assist. But the Polaris I've got right now, the Ranger, the 2016, that doesn't have it. And he called me yesterday and he wanted to know if we could go take a look at a Browning Polaris. It's the Browning edition, 2012. And the guy has dropped the price down to around $5,700 or something like that. But I think we're going to run into the same problem because from what the information I can get, the Browning 2012 Polaris is not power assist. It's all manual steering, and if you're having problems, I mean, you got a steering wheel versus handlebars, but still, it would be hard to steer it. So I don't think that was going to work out. But I did find one that's 2017 Polaris. It's closer. It's a four-wheeler, and that's got power assist on it. Stereo system. It's beautiful. And they're asking just about the same money. And we turned down a couple jobs this week of one, putting in sleeves into a Kubota engine, into a side-by-side Kubota. No, we don't touch that. We don't have the equipment to, and it just gets in over our heads. And the weather's starting to pick up, so people are starting to think about it. We're getting calls on, lawnmower parks and stuff where your do-it-yourselfers are doing it at home. I mean, day before yesterday, we had 70 degrees. And I think it's 24 degrees out there right now. And then it's supposed to warm right up again tomorrow and into the weekend, up into the 60s. So I've never seen a February, March like this in my lifetime. But I'll take it. So that kind of brings us to Amos posted. He had posted a good comment and it got deleted again. And I don't know if you can write it in like a Word document or a text document, copy and paste it, so if it gets deleted, or type it out, highlight it, copy it, and then submit, and if it doesn't submit, try it again, or whether... See, I don't know why their algorithm is... I can't see where anybody's been derogatory even close to it, so... But... whether if you reposted it a couple times trying to get it to show up, whether you'd be in trouble, I don't know. Something I'm going to have to do some research on, because, it's not, I don't think it's right that, I can see if certain words, actions or whatever, but with our crew, no, I don't get it. All right, so that brings us to you, Ed. You and that John Deere. Been a bone of contention now for a while. Because, it's got me stumped. Because you asked me a while back on this same machine. And the questions I have are, is it the V-twin that's liquid cooled? Or is it the air cooled with the coil on the flywheel? See, with your liquid cooled, they're not on the flywheel. The coils are down low. And the minute you turn a key on, they're being fed power from the key battery to one side of the coil. And if it's that machine, then you could be running into problems anywhere with the computer board to the key switch. It had nothing to do with your coils. Coil packs is what they call them on that Kawasaki. Now, if you had the air cooled, now your coils are sitting on the flywheel, right? And they're picking up an impulse. And every time that one magnet comes by, it sends a charge to the coil. Then simply with that, what I would recommend, girls, on that style, you could take the shroud off the top, right? And when she get her to the point where she's warm and you shut it off, if you turn it back on to start it and you're not getting fire, there's 2 grounding wires, one on each coil on that twin. And if you pull both those wires off, that would eliminate everything from the coil back through all your safety switches, ignitions, everything. You know, if it fired right up and you had fire and you had, fire going to your plugs, then now you've eliminated the coil. And now you got to work your way back, right? And I think the way to eliminate the Kawasaki liquid cooled coils is to unhook the positive side. Maybe we'll do a video on that today. I've got one I just took out of a customer's machine of where you have to run a jumper from one coil to the other coil, and then from either one from there to the battery. And that will eliminate everything from the coil back through. It will tell you if the coil is having the issue or whether something is overheating, like a diode. It could be the computer board is getting temperature wise and then it has to cool down in order for it to come in. Could be the key switch, is because that style has got the key switch with the smaller computer on the back side of the key. But to your question about the magnet on the flywheel, I have never seen, and I had to ask Claude yesterday, I said, have you ever seen that? I said, I've never seen that go bad. Even on the John Deere's, he said, I've never seen that since, I started working on small engine. So him and I spent probably an hour yesterday just kind of brainstorming back and forth about what it could be, and he's like, well, it could be, fuel. I said, no, it's not fuel, because when he turns the key switch back on, he's not getting any fire to the plug. And that shoots you back to the coil. And the thing that catches us, that makes us scratch our head, is once you put the coils on, you don't have any problems for a month, and then it starts going into this issue again, instead of having it happen every time. And it can't be, your gap, your plug, your coil, all that other stuff, because if that wasn't the electronic ignition, if that wasn't working right, it wouldn't run right even on a good day. But you definitely, I can understand why you've been, scratching your head a lot on this, because, like I say, we spent an hour brainstorming of how would we diagnose an engine that is doing exactly what you're saying is doing. So on that note, I'm going to get wrapped up here. I'll see what I can do, Ed, as far as getting that Kawasaki engine out, where we can do a video on that. And I can show you certain things, and maybe I'll even get Claude involved with it today. Depends on what we have going on. I know if we're going to Messina to look at a side-by-side, I won't have time to do it. But On that note, you guys have a great day. And if you guys have ideas on this Kawasaki, shoot it into the comments. It's kind of got us kind of stumped. All right, guys. You guys have a great Thursday, and I'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning.